Ship of Fools is a co-op game where you can absolutely eviscerate an entire ecosystem with nothing but a can of beans and fight Satan's left eye using chicken eggs and a paddle. But fear not, you are not alone. You can embark on this journey with someone else, allowing you to shift all blame onto someone else for your mistakes. Because why can't they avoid the laser? Just dodge roll. It's all you have to. In all seriousness, Ship of Fools is a game that you need to play. It's an indie roguelite all about repelling an evil darkness, surviving out at sea, and buying upgrades to make each run longer than the last, leading up to one of the most intense boss fights I've had in recent memory. Even if this game is something you wouldn't normally play, this game is fun, and if you watch until the end of this video, I think I can convince you to try it out. Okay, but what is Ship of Fools? Well, the game has a very simple premise. Like I touched upon earlier, there's an ancient darkness that's trying to wash over the seas, and it's up to you, a bumbling idiot, to slowly upgrade your ship and repel the darkness by cannon shot or by paddle swing. Seeing the path laid out ahead of you, it's up to you to decide what path will be the best for you and your buddy, and along the way, discover ammo types, trinkets, and artifacts to give your ship and characters special buffs, and even new fools with their own unique abilities, with some being clearly better than others. And just like every good roguelite, every run is only temporary. Too much damage to your ship and you'll be washed back to the starting island, having to start your journey from the beginning, keeping only the tendrils earned by beating bosses and certain tiles on the map. In true roguelite fashion, every run was all about working with whatever nonsensical items you get and using that to make it to the end. Sometimes you'll have the best runs imaginable, allowing you to absolutely destroy everything in your path and beat bosses in mere seconds. And sometimes, your run is dead before it even started. That's not to say that this game has extremely bad RNG and it's hard to bounce back from it, but a bad assortment of trinkets and ammo that's dealing minimal damage will have you playing this game on an entirely different difficulty. And that leads into the negatives of this game. For starters, like I said, there's just moments where you'll get the worst possible items, or items that will have no correlation with each other, leading up to this game becoming absolutely frustrating. Is it a deal breaker? Not in the slightest. I've only experienced a handful of runs like this out of the 100 plus I've played, but when it's bad, it's bad. And that's not to mention the other major downside of this game, its length. Realistically, almost every roguelite can be beaten in its first run, but when I first played this game with my friend, it's been ages since we played a roguelite of any kind. And after only 3 runs, we made it to the end and beat the boss. So we figured there had to be some kind of endgame content, right? Right? But ignoring the negatives, right out of the gate, one of this game's strongest points and possibly its main selling point is this game's co-op. Whether it be online or with someone right next to you, I've played multiple runs with multiple people both on and offline and enjoyed every single run I played. This is one of those games that's just really easy to get into, even if it's outside of your normal genre of play. It's casual enough to allow almost anyone to get into, but not overly casual that makes the game a joke and just not fun. Add in the fact that each time you go through this game, it's a learning experience, almost like a Soulsborne game. Every time you lose, it's your fault, and that's your L to take, but you can learn from your mistakes and apply it to your next run. Maybe next time we can try this. Maybe this time I'll man the cannon and you'll focus on reloading. This time, let's not focus on the eggs. Besides that, the overall style of this game is just super solid. The game not only plays great, but looks great. With its cartoon style and setting, I was fully immersed into this world. The bosses highlight the style and aesthetic of this game even further. Each boss is unique, with a certain style of music that makes them feel almost larger than life. The birds being my favorite example of this, from how the music slowly creeps up as they rise from the water, the way they roar. It's all fantastic. And when you knock them down, the music changes to then lead into another roar. and it's all just so awesome. When fighting the final boss of the game, who's already ripped straight out of Doom, after beating him in the first phase, the Doom similarities get even crazier, with a guitar riff that leads into an even more intense fight. "2022 felt like the year of co-op, with games like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Shredder's Revenge, and Multiverses being some highlights of the year. But Ship of Fools is just an experience like no other and deserves every bit of praise it can get. I can't remember the last time I had so much fun playing a game with someone else. That's not to say these other games weren't good. In fact, they were great. I played and enjoyed all of them. But Ships was a perfect balance of a good concept on top of really well executed gameplay that has me patiently waiting for any future updates that this game may have. I'm talking to you, obvious DLC door. This game is a crazy good time with a friend, and despite its flaws, it's worth the investment if you and your gaming buddy are looking for that next game to get into. And if you do, I promise you won't regret it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and take care.